Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in Carenado's Cessna Skymaster. We have a 188 nautical mile flight from VerticalSim's Peter O'Knight Airport to LatinVFR's Fort Lauderdale. We'll be flying in virtual reality, and it should be an awesome scenic flight. Let's hop into the pilot seat and get started. Okay, the Cessna Skymaster in VR just looks fantastic. We are starting here with the checklist. Recall, Carenado does not give you in-game checklists, but I made this checklist, and it's available on flightsim.to. Follow the link in the video details if you would like to download it for your own Skymaster. Alright, we'll make sure that all of our circuit breakers are in. We'll head over here and get the battery master on. Then we'll get both alternators on. Next, we'll make sure the cowl flaps are open. That's those two switches there. That looks good. We'll go up here and check that our fuel tanks are both set for takeoff. Alright, next we'll check the fuel left and right quantities. And you can see we've got half a tank, which is the default that Microsoft Flight Simulator loads you up with. That's not quite enough for a trip. So we'll go up here, click on the fuel menu, and I'll top us off. Let's set that to 100%. Perfect. Alright, let's check our fuel gauges, and they're both at 100% now. So that all looks good. Go to the next page. We'll get the beacon on. That's down over here. We'll get the condition levers both to full rich. Props both full forward. Turn on the fuel pumps to high. Move the throttle forward, get some fuel going. Turn off our fuel pumps. Call clear prop. And now we're going to start the rear engine first. That's the right switch. And the reason is once the front engine is started, you can't hear the rear engine when it starts, so it's easier to confirm that it's started up. Okay, we've got oil pressure. That's good. Now we'll start up the front engine. And that guy walks right into the prop. You can't get rid of those ground people. Alright. And oil pressure for the front engine, so that all looks good. Okay, we'll go to the next page. After starting engine checklist. And it's time for the avionics to come on. That's the white switch over here on the panel, door panel. So our Garmin instantly boots up, which they don't in real life. Okay, next we'll check the ammeter and locate the suction gauge. So we want the ammeter either to be neutral or charging the battery, and suction in range. I find that I don't know about real Skymasters, but on Skyhawks the suction gauge is comically small and always a challenge to find. So we've got the radar in standby, and now we'll go here to the nearest page on our Garmin, select our airport, and select the comms. Alright, while I'm getting all of this dialed in, we'll open up ForeFlight Web and go through the flight brief. So we are taking off from Peter O'Knight. That's an untowered field underneath the Tampa Bravo. We'll use St. Petersburg VOR, La Belle VOR, and Fort Lauderdale's VOR to navigate ourselves to Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is a class Charlie, so we'll talk to approach, talk to tower, and land. We'll start out on Peter O'Knight CTAF, but once we're airborne, we'll contact Tampa approach, pick up a Bravo clearance, and have flight fall in for the duration of the flight. They'll just hand us off to Fort Lauderdale approach, so we'll be in ATC contact the entire flight. Peter O'Knight is a beautiful little payware airport by VerticalSim, and this is my second flight out of it. Tampa's ATIS had winds favoring 2-2. Let's see how the windsock looks. And sure enough, It is approaching approach 22. Perfect. So we're going to taxi down to the end here. We will skip the run-up, but I'll get everything turned on here for my lights and transponder and prep for takeoff while we're holding short of the runway. My VR videos tend to be a little bit longer, so we're skipping over the run-up to get this show on the road, and I've also managed for this video to do my standard musical montage. So less talking from me, more flying. Hope you enjoy that. Alright, I've got our window all closed up. Let's make a CTAF call. Peter O'Night traffic, Skymaster 359 Golf Charlie, departing runway 22 to the south, Peter O'Night. Alright, game on. Let's taxi onto the runway and get started. At my flight school, someone owns a Skymaster. I haven't figured out who it is yet. There's twice when I've seen it staged on the ramp, but I haven't seen the pilot out there. So I would love to catch him as he's heading out and ask him if I could just poke my head and have a look at the panel in real life. But from the outside, it looks exactly like the version here that's in the game. And I haven't quite figured it out here, but on taxi, this seemed to be slower than I expected. And here, as I am accelerating, it's not picking up speed as quickly as expected. So something's glitched. I'm not quite sure what it is. You can see we're slowly creeping up in airspeed. Coming off the ground and almost at the end of the runway. Not sure why that was. But we are up. And this just looks gorgeous. This looks gorgeous in VR. Look at those clouds. I'm running with live weather currently. I've also got live traffic with flares turned on, so hopefully we'll see some more traffic going on for our flight. And we made our turn, we're on track, so I'm going to sit back, be quiet, and let you enjoy that awesome flight simulator scenery. As always, that was a lot of fun. It is great to fly the Skymaster in VR. It just looks fantastic. And this was a longer flight, but it was really cool. to manage the navigation and see all the scenery along the way, and we ended up with a pretty good landing here in Fort Lauderdale, so I was happy with that. So if you enjoy content like this, be sure to click that like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thanks, as always, for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.